fresh out the oven.
What is cracking, everybody? It's Megapiemanphd here, and welcome to another look at my map video, the first one for the second channel. Now, those of you who may be unaware, I have decided to split my original channel, Megapiemanphd, youtube.com/Megapiemanphd, into two. I've decided that youtube.com/Megapiemanphd will be my quote-unquote professional channel. That's where I will upload my game reviews and videos I put a lot of time and effort into, like writing a script, editing footage, etc., 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 even though nobody seems to care. But I've decided that I will do those on the main channel. This channel you're watching right now is the off channel. It is the second channel, the casual channel. This is where I'm going to be doing my look at my map videos for the foreseeable future, as well as voice acting stuff and anything else I feel like doing. The reason why I'm doing that is because I felt like my main channel was going in too many directions. I was kind of throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, but people who showed up for one thing weren't watching other things and were being dissuaded by other things because they weren't getting more of their one thing. So it's now split in the middle. You know what to expect for which channel. If you like to look at my map videos, but you don't like the other stuff that I do, then you can specifically focus on this channel. And I've actually had a couple people who've asked me to make more of these, which is surprising. I didn't expect people to really care that much, but people asked for it, so here we go. And this time, we're taking a look at Arena Deadlock A2. Don't ask what happened to A1. Oh, please don't ask what happened to A1. What happened to A1 is that there was a displacement in this freaking map that didn't want to work right and was driving me crazy for 3 freaking days because the map wouldn't compile. This is a conversion, or a port, if you will, of my map DM Deadlock for Open Fortress, a deathmatch mod for Team Fortress 2, to normal Team Fortress 2. Now, I've had this idea of making an arena version of this map for a while, since I played months back, since I played a map called Arena Bobcat. In Arena Bobcat, I believe it was made by Ibex, if I'm correct in thinking that. It was a asymmetrical arena map that had randomized spawns. So the way the map was set up is that it had a spawn on the high ground and a spawn on the low ground. First round, blue would do high ground, red would do low ground. Second round, red would do high ground, blue would do low ground. Third round, blue would do high ground, red would do low ground. So it would randomize what the spawn was to even out the asymmetrical idea of the map. And I really liked that. And I wanted to do that with Deadlock for a while. But then 14-Bit, who's been doing micro contests over on TF2 Maps, this is website forum thing, that had a micro contest called Mode Switcher, or Switch Mode. Switch Motor? Something like that. Mode Switcher, Switcher Motor, I don't know. The entire idea was to take a map that is one mode and make it another mode. So if you had a map that was a Koth map that you hadn't finished or had finished, you could then turn it into a player destruction map, or turn an arena map into a Koth map, like they've done a couple times at TF2, or turn an attack and defense map into 5CP, like with Gorge. We're not going to talk about how bad of an idea that might be. But anyway, so the idea was I was going to take a deathmatch map from Open Fortress and make Arena TF2, going the route of Arena Bobcat with the randomized spawns. And it took a little bit for me to figure out how to get the randomized spawns to work, but they do work now. From everything that I've play tested so far, they do work now for A1. So one of the spawns is over here. It'll spawn in this area, and the other spawn is all the way over here in this building. I played around with having more than just 2 spawns, having upwards of 4, so I had one in the original spot, one here, one over here, and one over here. And the way it would randomize is that if blue spawned here, red would spawn there. If blue spawned here, red would spawn there. and vice versa. That way you wouldn't get blue spawning here and red spawning there, where they'd be too close. And I decided to put the capture point where the power-ups normally are for the deathmatch version of this map, which is on this little bridge thingy on top of the spire. I don't know how well that's going to play out. This map doesn't really have a mid because it's designed for deathmatch. If I would say anything's a mid, maybe like right here or in this building, and these are just not areas that I could see putting a capture point, like, anywhere. I don't see that playing well. And putting a capture point out here, I feel like would be way too open and flat and uninteresting. I'm already kind of worried about sniper sight lines for this map, as it is in Open Fortress for Deathmatch. It's not too much of a problem for sniper sight lines because players are moving quickly, generally due to bunny hopping. They're not guaranteed to have a sniper rifle or something that can headshot like a sniper rifle, unlike if you play as a sniper in TF2, and that just makes it so that sightlines aren't quite as much of a problem. Plus, you also, you gotta hit your shots. But the sniper in TF2, all you gotta do is pick sniper, play that class, you have a sniper rifle, you can go use these sightlines. Whereas previously in the deathmatch version, you would spawn in somewhere in the map, you would have to go here to this spot to grab the railgun. Let's clip into that model! You have to go here to grab the railgun, which would be the only thing that could do a sniper rifle type thing of headshotting and whatnot. So it wasn't too much of an issue with deathmatch, but we will see how things go with testing. I don't know if this is necessarily a great spot to have a point, because it's a small capture area, and like pyros can blow you off into the death zone over here, but, we'll see how things go with more testing and whether or not that will work out. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. The only thing that it was a massive pain in the butt was this displacement right here. This one. You can see where it goes from dark to light. The light one right there, that's the little bugger that was giving me so much trouble. I actually missed the deadline for the micro contest and ended up being like 2 days late because this little bugger wouldn't let the friggin' map compile correctly, and it was a massive headache. But eventually everything got working fine. The logic works, and the map compiled. Now, I have had this map tested some so far. I think I might run it through another test. And one of the things that somebody suggested is that possibly having randomized control points at different places of the map because of the size of the map. A lot of areas don't see much usage. Now, when I'm thinking about map sizes in Arena, I'm thinking of Sawmill. Sawmill is freaking massive, let alone for an arena map. It is also a little bit asymmetrical. Even though it does not have randomized spawns, it has normal stock standard spawns. But it is a very sizable map. But Sawmill has mid. Deadlock does not have a dedicated mid section, a dedicated capture point section. So people are saying that a lot of areas of this map kind of go to waste because there's no reason to go there because that's not where the point is. That's not where players are going to be. I agree with that. I might look into randomized control points. I don't know how successful I will be in figuring out how to do that, but that is an idea for future me to look into. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do at least one more test with A2 to see how things go here. There's no soundscapes either, because Open Fortress does not have soundscapes. Open Fortress has background music. Team Fortress 2 does not have background music, it has soundscapes, and I did not add soundscapes because I was too preoccupied with other things that were making this map not work. But there you go, head over to the TF2 Maps forum page, would be in the link in the description, to check this map out. Let me know what you think. For those of you who are wondering, this is built off of the RC1 version of DM Deadlock. I did finish that. I don't think I made any more future videos on the development of DM Deadlock, just because the development was kind of strange with how it comes to testing maps for Open Fortress. They don't have, like, necessarily dedicated testing like TF2 Maps does. They kind of just say, hey, I have a map. Would you guys be interested in having this in your game? Somebody will check it out, and if they give you the thumbs up, they'll add it to the roster and let people play it, and unless people really don't like it, it'll just sit around and you can update it however you want from there. So, I mean, previously, I think the last video I did of this, I didn't have a skybox in here. I did end up making a nice skybox. I'm extremely happy with this skybox. It is probably one of my favorites that I have made so far, even though I did copy a little bit of the ideas from some other maps, like that big rock over there. The idea I got for that was from CP Badlands, but a lot of it, I think, works out really well. The road does line up correctly. The lines are not working right, but we'll work on that in the future. You can't really see the road from in the map to off of the map, so I'm not going to worry about putting lines out there, but I'm very, very happy with the skybox. Skyboxes are something that I'm quickly finding to really enjoying making, which is kind of surprising, because in reality, they're a bit of a pain in the butt! Because in order to make a skybox, or at least the way that I do it, I build the geometry that I want to be in the skybox around the normal map. I then select it all, group it all together, cut it, paste it to scale it down with the sky camera that determines in the middle to determine exactly where things are, so everything lines up correctly. And then I'll add some props or change a couple things around once I get it into the correct size, because a skybox is 1/16th scale of your normal map. And it can be a bit of a process to try to figure out exactly how to do things, how to get the right fog levels for some of these. Something I really don't like in skyboxes is when you can see sky cards as sky cards. A sky card is basically what it sounds like you see back there in the way back in the haze. I'm pointing at my computer, even though nobody can see that. That is where the horizon is. That's actually a sky card. It's a 2D image. It's flat. There's nothing by that. But it's hidden in the fog and blended into the fog. So at immediate glance, it looks the same as the big rock model to its left. So you wouldn't think that it's flat. You'd think that it's actually the horizon going on. That's what I like. I don't like being able to see sky cards in skyboxes. Happens, unfortunately, a lot of times with big pine trees in alpine maps. People put these big pine tree sky cards really close to the gameplay space so that you can see what they are. And it drives me just a little bit crazy. TF2, you can get away with it because of the art style. Other games, I think, not Home from the Revolution. What the heck was the name of that World War II shooter that they like? It came out a couple years ago. It was it's not Homefront. I know it's not Homefront, but it's like a World War II shooter made with modern graphics. Ended up just playing kind of plain. It was a little bit buggy. The main character was a news reporter, and part of it took place in the retaking Paris. Gosh, I can't remember the name of that game to save my life right now. Somebody throw that in the comments. Thank you. But anyway, that game, I could see sky cards in the skybox, and that game had a realistic art design, and it did not look good. It was not great. Even though that game was, it's some levels very pretty, that did not look great at all. So, sky cards. There you go. There's my thought on sky cards and skyboxes. That is pretty much all I have to talk about right now. You can check out the map, play it, let me know what you think, let me know about any bugs. A couple things I want to fix up, such as the shadow on these displacements here. That is where one goes into the other, because I couldn't figure out when I made this how to get them to sew together. That problem happens on a couple of ramps over here. The reason why there's that shadow right there is because underneath this, there actually is still the texture. of this floor. This floor brush goes all the way underneath this ramp, and the lighting of that changes. So instead of a smooth going up the ramp, it makes a shadow across the thing. It's annoying. It's a Source thing. Welcome to Source. We make things harder for you because we love you. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm a Megapieman. Check out the main channel if you haven't over on youtube.com. So Megapiemanphd. If you want to see more of these Look at My Map videos, feel free to subscribe to this second channel. And I will talk to you guys later.